I didn't take him seriously at first. I wish I had. We were sitting in my kitchen sometime after 2 in the morning. The lights turned off because neither of us could stand how bright the world felt lately. The only thing glowing was the digital clock on the stove, that dull green light that makes shadows look wrong. We were drinking coffee, even though we both knew it was a bad idea. We hadn't slept in days, not because we were busy, but because sleep just wouldn't come. He kept looking at the windows, not the way someone checks for rain or passing headlights, but like he expected something to suddenly be there if he stopped paying attention. Every few seconds, his eyes would flick back, scanning the glass, the curtains, the darkness beyond. Finally, without looking at me, he said very quietly that if he ever showed up at my place without warning, I should not open the door. I laughed. It was automatic, a reflex. When someone says something that doesn't make sense, you laugh so you don't have to think about it. I told him to stop messing around. He didn't smile. He turned toward me slowly, his face pale and tired in the low light, and said that he was serious. If he knocked, if he called, if he texted me asking to come in, I was not to let him inside. I remember rolling my eyes, telling him he needed sleep. That was when he leaned forward, close enough that I could smell the coffee on his breath, and said that if he insisted, if he sounded scared or desperate, then I needed to kill him. That was the moment the laughter drained out of me. Not all at once, but like water leaking from a cracked glass. His voice was calm. Too calm. There was no drama in it, no edge. He was stating a fact, the same way someone tells you the weather. I asked him why. For a long time he didn't answer. He just sat there, rubbing his hands together like he was cold, even though the room was warm. When he finally spoke, he told me something had happened up north. He'd gone hiking alone deep into a stretch of forest locals avoided. No trails, no signs, no landmarks. Just trees, endless trees, all the same height, the same color, spaced so evenly that after a while it felt like walking through a copied image. He said it messed with your sense of direction. You could walk for hours and swear you were going in circles even when you weren't. On the third day, he noticed something was following him, not chasing, not hiding, just there, keeping pace. When he stopped walking, it stopped too. When he started again, it followed, always the same distance behind, close enough to feel, far enough to never quite see. At first, he thought it was his imagination, hunger, fatigue, the forest playing tricks on him. But then he turned suddenly, and there it was, standing between two trees like it hadn't finished stepping out into the world. He said it looked almost human. Almost. It was too tall. The arms hung too low, the joints bending at slightly wrong angles. Its head was tilted to one side, like it was listening to something he couldn't hear, waiting for permission to move. When it opened its mouth, it spoke in his voice, but the words were wrong. "Help me, I'm lost." Not the way a person talks, not the way he would talk. It sounded like language that had been studied instead of lived, like someone copying speech from behind glass. That's when he ran. He didn't stop until nightfall, until his lungs burned and his legs shook. He set up his tent in a panic, hands trembling, every sound too loud in the dark. He didn't eat, he didn't sleep, because it stood outside his tent. It didn't touch the fabric. It didn't try to get in. It didn't circle or breathe loudly or make threats. It just stood there and practiced. He could hear it repeating his name over and over, each time different. Calm, panicked, angry, laughing, crying, like it was flipping through emotions, testing which one sounded right. By morning, there were 2 sets of footprints leading away from the campsite. Only one set came back. When he finished telling me all this, he looked smaller, like something essential had been removed from him. He said it followed him home, not right away. It waited. That's what they do. I told him he needed help, real help, sleep, therapy, a doctor. He grabbed my wrist so hard it hurt and told me that if he ever came to me, it meant it worked. He left before sunrise. 2 days later, he stopped answering his phone. A week passed. Then my phone buzzed. It was a text from his number. "Can I crash at yours tonight?" No punctuation, no nickname. He always used both. My chest tightened. I didn't reply. 10 minutes later, another message came through. "Please, man, I really need help." I locked my door. That night, there was a knock. 3 slow taps, the exact rhythm he used every time. I didn't move. From the hallway, his voice called out, perfectly steady, telling me he knew I was awake. I stayed silent. Something shifted on the other side of the door, a long breath. Then, softer, almost disappointed, it said that he told me this would happen. The handle turned. It didn't open, but it turned. I sat there until morning, every muscle locked, afraid to even breathe. At 4:12 a.m., my phone buzzed one last time. It's better at being me now. An hour later, my neighbor asked why my friend had been standing outside my door all night. Said he never moved, never knocked again, never left, just stood there, smiling, waiting. I don't know what happened to my friend, but I know the thing that learned his voice, his face, his habits, wasn't him. And I know it's still out there, practicing. So if someone you trust ever tells you not to open the door for them, no matter what they say, no matter how much they sound like themselves, believe them.